I know there's a lot of companies here that they have some time on their lease. They're looking at the scenario saying, look, I got a couple of years before I need to transact. I don't know if I need to be thinking about this right now. We're saying, well, look, you should. There's some advantages to doing that. What are those milestones or triggers that you're suggesting besides the lease termination date?
They'll be different for everybody.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. We were hired by a large energy company to work on their entire portfolio, and their headquarters lease was not up for another 6 or 7 years. So it didn't seem to be anything that could be done, and they weren't really out of market. But we thought, you've always got to be looking at these things. So we started doing some digging. And the end of the long story is that we finally realized that their financing on this building, for which they were the single tenant, came up 2 years before their lease expired.
Wow.
What that means is the landlord was not going to be able to refinance that building, and we knew that. It's even more complicated because the landlord was also not a company that was in Houston except for this one asset, so they didn't have staff here. There was no way for them to re-tenant the building if we left. They were really over a barrel. We simply went, in this case, explained it to our client, went to the landlord and said, we've got good news and bad news. The good news is we're willing to extend our lease, and that will allow you to refinance it so that you can hold on to the building, because otherwise, it's a single tenant building, you're going to lose it.
Wow.
The bad news is you're going to have to dramatically cut our rent. Landlord wasn't crazy about missing the rent, but he was really crazy about being able to hang on to the building. So that was a situation where there was nothing that was a trigger. It was simply investigation into the lease, into the market, into the landlord, and finding a time and a place and an issue where we could have all the leverage ourselves.